Yo, 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 what's good, people? It's a Monday. Do not get used to this shit, okay? What's going on? This ain't gonna be no 2-hour, no 3-hour stream. None of that shit. Shout out to BGS Itmore. So if you guys been paying attention, I did a video called "The Price is Too Damn High." The price is too damn high. In that video, I was joined by Mr. BGS Itmore. BGS had jumped in the video, and at some point the conversation turned to Russell and Future. All right, so we discussed that, and then he made a video pretty much about, Russell Wilson, Future, and pretty much the dynamic of Black culture, right? So I'm gonna play some of the stuff from the conversation, the original conversation, and then I'm gonna go into BGS's video. And Mr. BGS, sir, thank you for all the views that you brought to that video, because he did post the link on his response video. I just want to do this video for a little bit of clarity on that conversation, because I think that some of the points got missed and maybe twisted. You understand what I'm saying? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my video, which is the conversation between me, BGS. I think it's Charles is in the conversation, Officer Faulkner, and I forget who it was that brought up Steph Curry and Future. I don't recognize the guy's voice. It was not me. I did not bring up Future. I did not bring up Russell Wilson. Okay, but I got drawn into that conversation. So just so that we understand who was saying what and whose argument was what, I'm going to bring that shit in right now. And let's see. Here we go right here. Let's do it. All right. So let's play it from right here.
I will say this: Steph Curry and Russell Wilson better watch their back. Why? I'm just saying. Why? I mean, Russell Wilson, he gonna look like he's gonna end up having to retire, or his thing gonna drop his ass because he's playing horrible. And when the money goes, she goes. And Future already said that he's still smashing us.
So I don't know who that was, but he said the comment, "When the money goes, she goes." All right. And then he continued to say that Future still smashes Ciara. I don't know how true that is. I don't claim to know how true it is. As far as the comment, "When the money goes, she goes," wasn't me. I ain't say it. Wasn't my point of view. Let's keep going.
Future is not smashing her, man. Okay. Me and Marcus gonna give you school, you guys, right? Okay. It's about the money. Russell wants to be a fucking billionaire. That's not gonna be with Denver. It's not gonna be got Sierra, because she opens up a market that he didn't have.
So let's pause that, right? That's not my point of view. I'm gonna play a little bit more.
Okay. Don't matter. Same thing that Jesus married the Kardashians. That was a deal, man. He was $60 million in the hole before he married, right? Now he's worth what, $2-3 billion now?
So what BGS did there was he compared Russell Wilson marrying Ciara to Kanye West marrying Kim Kardashian, which I think there's a world of difference there. I think there's a world of difference there. I don't think Ciara carries the same weight as the Kardashian family. I really don't. With the Kardashian family being what they are in the media, right? And to be honest, I don't think that that's why Ye married her. I think it was a benefit to it. I think that he takes advantage of it. And I think he takes advantage of his relationship with the Kardashian mom, Kris Jenner. But I don't think that they're equal. I don't think that Russell married Ciara because he could become a billionaire. Ciara is not a media powerhouse like the Kardashian family is. I think it's a bit of a reach there, but that's not the crux of this argument here. So we're gonna keep on going.
That's what it's about.
You talking about Kanye? You talking about Kanye?
Talking about Kanye, yeah.
So check it.
Why do y'all think that? Why do y'all think Russell Wilson is a square?
So that's when Charles asks, "Why do you guys think Russell Wilson is a square?" That was Charles. So let's keep going.
Like, I want to ask you this one question, man. Who got more pussy in high school than the fucking captain of the football team?
Not a single soul.
So
That doesn't mean you're not corny. So Charles says, "Who got more pussy than the captain of the football team?" Right? Someone else says, "Not a single soul." And I said, that doesn't mean you're not corny. Nobody accused Russell of being an incel. Right? We said that he wasn't the smoothest guy, or he doesn't come across as the smoothest guy. Let's continue. That doesn't mean you're not corny.
I mean, that's
Okay,
what.
well, what's not corny? So what's corny? What is corny?
So men won't stop women from having sex. Women won't stop men from spending money on her. That's what people don't want. So I'm reading the super chat. Right? We're gonna get right back to it. Yeah, men won't stop women from having sex, but women ain't stopping niggas from having sex either. There's always somebody else. I mean, especially if you got it, there's always another woman ready to give out some ass. By the way, these visuals are being brought to us by shout out to Marty McFly. Shout out Marty.
I went to high school at the time period when R. Kelly was running about, older dudes, drug dealing dudes with box Chevys pulling up to the school. The quarterback dude, he was probably the fourth dude on the list that was getting played, but I digress.
So that was Mr. O with the info. Shout out to him.
Okay, go back. Basically, because I got a sub that went to the same high school they went to. That she went to, right? Guess what her boyfriend, high school boyfriend, looked like? Russell Wilson.
Okay, so BGS's argument is that because her high school ex-boyfriend resembles Russell Wilson, that means that her preference is guys that look like that. Let's continue.
Let me ask you this question, bro.
Guess what they called a future in high school? Meathead.
I was not the nigga in high school. What you were in high school has nothing to do with today. Damn, homie, in high school you was the man, homie. Right? Let's continue. Oh, that's all possible. What my point is, I don't know what anybody else is saying, but what my point is okay, you on a team, you play football real good, right? Girls might like that. They might fuck with you. You the captain of the team, right? That's a status thing, right? It's just like you got guys with money that women will give pussy to. So my first point, because this is, looks, money, status, game. My first point is Russell Wilson is the captain of the football team in high school, has status. You can be a corny nigga with status and you might get some ass, It's not an incel argument that's being made here. This is about being a quote unquote lame. And I'm going to continue to play this so that people understand what I'm saying. I mean, shit, if you ask me, Tiger Woods is corny, right? But bitches will fuck with him. Right? So what I'm saying is, when I say corny, I mean like, if you come across awkward socially, whatever, that being the thing, That's what we call quote unquote lame, right? And they go, Marty McFly, ladies and gentlemen. So what I'm saying is, according to the definition that women use, that's lame. So what I just did is I contextualize it as this is what women see as quote unquote corny lame. Understand that context matters. This is not me saying, yo, this nigga's corny, this and that, or throwing him under the bus or saying he's a bad guy or he's an idiot or this or that. It's understand this is about what women are defining to make their choice in a man, right? This is about Ciara and what she would choose, because the debate became about who would she have chosen, all things removed. It became about if Russell was in fact not the captain of the football team and Future was not the rapper, who would she choose? And I made it more about how tall Future was in comparison to Russell, and BGS's argument was Russell is the guy with the light eyes and the curly hair, which are all genetic, indicators, right? They're all genetic indicators. And I pretty much was saying that the tiebreaker was Future's perceived swag, right? Whether it's real or not, the nigga plays the Pookie very well. Okay. Perceived swag. Let's continue. Lame, right? My definition is a nigga like Lucario going overboard, trying to be cool so bad. I made it clear that this was not my definition, and I stated what my definition was. Let me make it repeat. My definition is a nigga like Lucario going overboard, trying to be cool so bad, right? But again, according to the definition that women tend to use, this is the quote unquote lame, right? And it's women's definition that matters because they're the ones that's making the choice. And we're talking about in reference to who's fucking, right? Now, corniness or lameness, according to quote unquote the women's definition, it does not necessarily mean that you ain't getting no pussy, because in BGS's response video, I think the first thing he says is that the argument, I don't know if he says or he took that as my argument or not, but BGS has been in this conversation about Russell for quite some time. And me personally, I never made the argument that Russell would not be fucking if he was not the captain of the football team. I only answered the question that was being posed to me, comparing the two without their status. Let's continue. Right? What I'm saying is, just because Russell is the captain of the ball team and girls fuck with him doesn't mean he's not that. I mean, shit, bitches kiss Flavor Flav on TV. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Flavor Flav was. Let me break this down.
So I use Flavor Flav as an example to use someone who is not light skinned and curly hair, light eyes, attractive, right? Flavor Flav has status, and that's why women would kiss him on TV. So looks, money, status, game. There can be things that women will overlook your flaws for because they value what you may have in spades. If Flavor Flav has status in spades, they overlook the fact that he does not have looks. They might overlook the fact that Russell is not swaglicious or whatever because he has status. I didn't make an argument that Russell was an incel. I said that one versus the other, women will tend to pick a Future. And I used height as the number one genetic indicator, right? Women prize height. I don't care what anyone says. And again, this is coming from not only research and my personal observation and the personal observation that this is empirical. Like, women prize height. You can Google it and look it up. If you don't believe me, that's not to say that shorter men don't get women. It's not to say, it's not an absolute argument. It's not to say that shorter men do not get women. It's to say that if you compared these genetic indicators with those, the height is one of the aces, is one of the trump cards. Let's not pretend. Okay. Let's not pretend. You know what I mean? It is not an end all be all. Right. Okay. So BGS says in my video, I didn't mention your definition. Now that's cool, but let's continue, right? Because it's a lot more. Shout out to BGS. He is in the chat, seeing this live, right? So I got some notes here. I said nobody said Russell was corny and could not get women. I didn't say that. Or that he couldn't get women without money. The discussion was Future versus Russell as regular guys. I never suggested Future is still smashing Ciara. I don't know if he directed that to me because I didn't say it. Her high school boyfriend who resembles Russell is not proof of the complete package. That's number one. We don't know what this guy's demeanor is, how he came across. Another thing that I'll say about her high school ex-boyfriend is, I mean, she's in high school. I would say that given what BGS said about her father, right? Given what he said about her father being, you know, the military guy, I'm sure that he probably had some say in who she could date as a teenager. I think that it's more an indicator of who she would choose to date as a grown woman than who she was allowed to date as a younger female. That's just my opinion on that. Does it take away that she's attracted to the Russell type? I didn't say that she wasn't attracted to Russell. I'm saying compare the two, and I'm going to go with Future, and I'm going to go into that why later. And it has everything to do with what BGS said later in this video, which I have zero disagreements with. Zero. You know, BGS's historic portion of the video is all facts. It's not something that I would even argue with him for a second. So, all right, someone with Ciara's background probably would have her high school relationship closely monitored by her dad. If BGS is right, and that's who he is, and her dating choices in her dating choices in her adult life would accurately more accurately reflect her choices. My argument was closer to physical features such as height, not only hood swag, right? So I'm reading my notes here. BGS's historical references are 100% on point. Nobody is holding up Future or Nick Cannon as heroes. That was another point that BGS you made in your video. I don't think that, in my opinion, I don't think that anybody in my video was speaking about Future in reference to him being a hero or that he's somebody we champion because of his swag. Understand, a lot of us, we use Future as an example of who black women choose. This dude has multiple kids, multiple baby mamas, and women still fuck with him. They still fuck with him regardless. Okay. And that points to stuff you said later in your video, but they still fuck with this guy regardless. I've never seen anybody on the internet celebrate Nick Cannon for having all these kids. It might exist, but I haven't seen it. I don't think that I've seen any black men, right, celebrating Nick. There might be hood niggas that celebrate Future. I won't say that that doesn't exist. I am not one of these people. I don't use Future as somebody who's an example to follow. I use him as an argument for who black women prefer. And that's pretty obvious. We can go on and on about the educated lame versus Pookie. You understand what I'm saying? And we know that in our community, the progressive black man, the man that's trying to build and move forward, is not the celebrated guy in the community. We know that. You know what I'm saying? I'll get into that later. So, okay, so here it is. Our culture is women ran. And as the greater society becomes more female ran, we see trends in black culture and its female culture spread to the dominant culture. That's something that BGS spoke to. I agree with that. Men become what women like because women dictate sex. So a guy like Nick Cannon, who BGS said was corny or whatever earlier, or he was, educated school Nickelodeon Nick Cannon, when got tatted up, and now he's, what he said, future junior, future junior. And that's because, again, this is something that we see in the hood, where you got guys who they would not get the attention from the women, so they become the thing that the women like. Men follow that because they want pussy. Okay, I mean, again, we agree on those things, right? So, all right, so the degradation of our culture has to do with female dominant socialization. Okay, men aiming to attract women with degenerate behavior. To women, men who are well behaved and productive are considered lames. This is lame in the context of what women define it as. I'm not defining these motherfuckers as lame. According to what these women say, when I was in high school, I was a lame. We already know in the black community what is attractive is very, like, there's a narrow definition of what is attractive when it comes to black men for black women. These same lames can date out, right? And I think BGS says that that some women are all women, something like that. He said, I might pull up this video in a second. Will only date these guys. Understand, in the context of Ciara, Future might be a fallback plan. I can't sit here and pretend why Russell decided to date Ciara. I don't think that there was this master plan involved, but she's not an unattractive female. I mean, this guy, he was probably the cool guy from, like my man Megatron said, he was probably the cool from the suburbs. Right. I'm not going to pretend to know what her background is outside of what BGS spoke about. You understand what I'm saying? But he probably was the cool jerk for the suburbs, cool for the white girls and the Latinas and the Asian girls in that area. Right. Which I think his first wife was a white woman. He's been married twice now. Right. She's been married once, but she has a kid from a previous situation. I would go as far as to say that Russell, all things removed, outside of what BGS said, his light eyes and curly hair and light skin, which was cool in the I'll Be Sure days. It was cool in the I'll Be Sure days. It's not all the way played out. And I'm not suggesting that this motherfucker can't get no pussy outside of sports and being a millionaire. I'm not suggesting that either. But the argument in the video was Russell versus Future, all things being equal, all things removed. Right? Again, they both have genetic indicators. Right? Russell does have his looks, no homo. And Future does have his height. The man is 6'2". The man is 6'2". I would love for somebody to tell me that that's not a relevant thing. Plus the swag, Ciara's a black woman. Okay. We can go on and on and on about who black women tend to choose as far as demeanor. We've seen it happen. There's a million videos on YouTube about this, about who black women are choosing over who else. Now let's go to I'm gonna pull up BGS's video if he doesn't mind. But and to go into the, I guess, the Monahan section of the video, this is all stuff that I agree with. Our situation in black society with the no vote and no fucking. So okay, so Russell is a lame based on women's perception. That's the argument. Who women choose. The question was who a woman would choose. And Nick Cannon is not celebrated by black men who are about their shit. Nobody is celebrating. Nobody is happy. I mean, I'm indifferent to it, to be honest. I'm indifferent to it. I'm like, you know, and another thing is I don't think that anybody on YouTube or Facebook would confuse me with somebody that celebrates that, champions that. I don't speak on that. Me and BGS share the same point of view when it comes to the black community and black culture is done. I've been saying that pre-YouTube, pre-Facebook, a long time. I've been saying that a long time. So no voting, no fucking is women and LGBT. That is not a black man thing. That is women. That is black women. All right. Nowhere in none of my videos that I celebrate these niggas. So when I say Future is more likely to get Ciara, that's not me propping Future up as a hero. That's not me propping Pookie up as a hero. That's just me stating what I see as far as what women tend to go with, all things removed. Do I think that Russell is helped by his money? Absolutely. Money would help anyone. But all things removed, Russell and Future trying to go at the same black woman, Future's gonna get it. Future's gonna get it. All right. I wanted to save a portion of this video, and I hope I'm not leaving anything out of you know what I was saying. Understand this: Gigi, Green Gorilla, and T. Hassan Johnson did a video last week together. All right, and I was in the comment section, and they spoke on Pookie and Ray Ray. I think Gigi was talking about, you know, how drug offenses, you know, there are more white people or white men selling drugs than black guys in the hood, but black men get arrested more. And he went to, you know, saying something about, oh, you guys are going to make the Pookie and Ray Ray argument. And I was in the chat kind of challenging what he was saying about Pookie and Ray Ray. Most guys' argument about Pookie and Ray Ray is, you know, in my opinion, a lot of guys who bring it up on the internet is that these niggas is fucking bitches they want to fuck. Let's be honest. Pookie and Ray Ray is fucking the bitches they want to fuck, which goes back to not only what I say, but what BGS is saying. The reason why we're dealing with Nick Cannons who go from this to that is because of what black women prefer. Black women run black culture. I don't think that there's a debate or argument there. And black women controls who gets pussy. Right? Period. So going back to Green Gorilla's live that he did with T. Hassan Johnson, I was basically saying in black culture celebrates Pookie. All right, black culture is female. Okay, black culture is female, and black culture celebrates Pookie. Right? Now, I don't give a fuck who Pookie is fucking because I fuck some of Pookie's women, but black culture celebrates Pookie. I don't think that there's an argument there, right? And these guys took exception to what I was saying because their point of view is pretty much, you know, if we're talking about Pookie and Ray Ray, that Pookie and Ray Ray were created by, you know, social engineering. There's a lot of historical, facts that go into how guys became hood niggas or whatever the case may be. And a lot of it, I don't argue against. I don't protest it, but understand this. When I talk about Pookie and Ray Ray, understand all Pookie and Ray Rays ain't killers. When I speak about motherfuckers in the hood, that's a problem. I talk about thugs. Thug is very specific. The word thug is very specific. Thugs are violent offenders. Pookie and Ray Ray could be around the way niggas, pants sagging, you know, sipping a 40, whatever. I don't give a fuck about that. As far as weed sales, do I feel like it's an unfair situation as far as the law is concerned? Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's not to say that thugs are not a problem. To defend thugs as a defense of black men, that's a bad precedent, because thugs are a minority among black men. Thugs are a minority. Shit, Pookie and Ray Ray is a minority. Okay, so for every man that's not Pookie and Ray Ray and is not a thug, these motherfuckers should be offended at the idea that we have to defend violent criminals as a defense of black men because they're the minority. It's the same way that women defend ratchets to defend the entirety of black women. They don't want black women to look bad, so they defend what ratchets do. I do not support brotherhood of failure. I do not support, I want to make this clear. I do not support brotherhood of failure. Okay? We have criminals in every group of people. And let's keep this to America for 1 second. Because this is one point Gigi did make. He said every group in America has its criminals. This is a fact. But only in black culture, is our criminal element. And even the most, when I say criminal, I ain't talking about weed sales. I want to make this clear. I don't want nobody respond to me talking about, but weed sales and nonviolent offenders. I ain't talking about nonviolent offenders. We celebrate the thugs here. We celebrate the thugs. And for anybody that's making the argument that other groups celebrate their thugs, no, the average citizen in other groups do not celebrate the thugs. They do not say. It got to the point where the average Italian person was offended and embarrassed by the mob. The mob extorted normal Italian citizens. They extorted them. That's how the mob was built. They extorted Italian business owners. There goes that black on black example, right? They extorted businesses in their community to build up what we now know as La Cosa Nostra. And they were taken down by an Italian. Rudolph Giuliani took down the mob in New York. He took down the mob in New York. I got a super chat, so I'm going to read it. Pookie and Ray Ray is a failure to launch. Could simple be a man that got a drug charge or got on child support when he was young. I can continue. Yeah. Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that. Yo, I need likes on this video. I ain't done yet. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I need likes on this video. Understand this. Understand this. Dr. T, who I respect. Let me make this clear. Everybody whose name I'm mentioning today, I respect all these men. All right. Dr. G, Dr. J, and BGS and more. Let's make that clear. This isn't one of those types of videos, but I want to address Dr. J, who that's my nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Dr. J is my nigga. We kick it, right? Dr. J said something about attaching a pathology to black men. Again, thug culture, right? Thug niggas in our community are a minority. It's cool to accept that we have thugs and that we as a culture celebrate thugs. Again, we have a female culture. I don't think that men that are about their shit, building businesses, getting money, blue collar niggas are celebrating thug culture like that, because there are men who, like, again, Gigi is someone with a doctorate. And at times he defends street dudes. I don't know if he's defending thugs because I never heard him use the word thug. He typically snaps back at people who talk about Pookie and Ray Ray. And Pookie and Ray Ray may be thugs or they are not thugs. Most Pookie and Ray Rays are not killers. They are not killers. Understand, I am from the fucking hood. I am from the hood. I'm not a guy outside the hood examining the hood. I'm from the hood. I'm the dude with the good grades, went to school every day, graduated, got my diploma, went to college. I'm that nigga, but I'm from the hood. I'm from the hood. Pookies and Ray Rays, they dress a certain way, they talk a certain way. It's hood culture, but they are not all killers. They are not my problem. The problem is thugs, and it's cool to say that without pathologizing the whole collective of black men. It's cool to say that. I don't understand why it's not cool to say that, and people, oh, you're pathologizing black men. It's like you're saying bitches is ratchet. Oh, not all black women. It's the same argument. It's the same argument. And to say, well, black men are like this or those thugs are like that because of social engineering, the same argument could be made on the bitches' side. So if we're going to say, oh, it's social engineering, then we got to absolve the women for their fuckery. And I'm not with it. I'm not with it. All the shit that with the strong black independent shit, all of this shit to sell out to white feminism and all this other shit that black women are guilty of is social engineering. If you're going to absolve the thug niggas because they were socially engineered by whatever factors went down in America, then you got to absolve these bitches. And no, sir. No, sir. Everybody's accountable for what the fuck they have done or have not done. That's like a goose stepper. And I'm using a goose stepper instead of the other word, the N word, the Germany word. A goose stepper can make the same argument. Hey, you know, I was just following orders. I was just following orders. Oh, I was a victim of, you know, the environment. So the motherfuckers that sprayed fire hoses were spraying fire hoses on black people because, hey, you know what? Social engineering. The kids that was spitting on the girls that went to school, bus to the, you know, to the gentrified school or the mixed school or the, you know, miscegenated school or whatever word. Yeah, social engineering. Social engineering. If we're going to blame or we're going to let people off for being socially socialized and acting on that socialization, then let it all ride. We can't pick and choose. Well, you know, thug niggas, you know, because this and that and the other, yada, yada, yada. So we're going to let them off the hook, but we got to hold these bitches accountable. Nah, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. So BGS, I want to say this. All the things that you said about Monahan and, you know, the direction of black culture is facts. It's facts. It's facts. We gave black women the hood, and black women chose who they chose to procreate with. They chose who they chose to procreate with, and they steered the culture in the direction that it is right now. And the niggas that followed along with that, that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing. The fact that Ciara was raised by a military man and still ended up with Future in her adult years should say something. It should say something. That under the direction of her father, she was with this guy. But as an adult, she was with that guy. And that guy gave her a child. And once she had that child, she couldn't Stay with this guy because that guy doesn't function. So now you got to have a functional guy. It's dual mating strategy. That's what the fuck that is, period. Now, BGS also said, well, you know, these guys have money. Of course, she's a celebrity. They're celebrities. All things being removed, it would have went the same. But according to everything that we do know, Future should have never had a chance. He should have never had a chance. If she was raised by a military man. If that man was on his TI shit, he would have never had a chance. What I will not say is she still wants Future. That's not my point of view. What I will not say is that she's still fucking Future. I don't have proof of that. I don't know whether he really said that. I heard he said that. I don't ride off rumors or none of that shit. I don't know that. But we know her dating history and we know the dating patterns of black women for decades. And I think that's enough to use to make an informed opinion, at least, right? An informed opinion. I am not saying Russell can't get pussy, didn't get pussy. None of that shit. That was in my opinion. But this place where we are now in the black community, black women got us here. And I agree with BGS. For the bulk of his video, the academics, the these, the this ones, the that ones who remain silent because they were scared to offend black women. They were scared to go up against black women, or, you know, it's like that. Again, it's that defend the ratchets to defend the gender shit. The niggas don't, it's the simp niggas in those types, they don't want to go up against black women because they want a virtue signal, or they don't want to lose out on pussy points. The people above that, they don't want to lose the vote. They don't want to lose, you know, they don't want to be politically incorrect, et cetera, and that's why they don't do that. Shout out to Doc Thunder. I see you, Rob. Rob is in the building. I see you, Derek. Jay Shabazz, what's up? Welcome. Please hit that like button as you come in. BGS, I am down to continue this discussion. But as far as like, because we were having two discussions, at one point I was talking about natural selection and what women tend to choose as genetic indicators of fitness, and height being the one of the highest indicators of genetic fitness. I'm not discounting curly hair, light eyes, and light skin, but height is high on the list. Not only with just women in general, but with black women in particular, height is high on the list. But apart from that, if we're going to talk about hood swag versus quote unquote corny, understand I am using those things in the context that black women use them. SWP coined the phrase educated lame. He coined the phrase educated lame, not to say that niggas is corny. It wasn't his opinion. He was using it to describe what women tend to avoid, at least black women. I mean, Kevin Samuels used the term high value man, and guys kind of perverted the term, saying that, you know, if you didn't make money, you weren't valuable, and you misunderstood the context. The context was who they find value in, who is the most requested. There is a hierarchy of what women tend to pick in terms of what attracts them to men. We're going to revisit this again. Looks, money, status, game. We're going to talk about it. And I ain't talking about that corny ass Lucario bullshit. We ain't talking about that shit. Because according to him, he a cool motherfucker. And according to my definition of lame, that nigga's the lamest of lames. And if there's any Lucario fans in here, you can stamp that and send it to him. Tell him Marcus said it. And shout out to the Andrew Show because he's going to be speaking on Lucario tonight. So I'm going to link BGS's video. I hope I ain't missing any points. I'm going to link BGS's video like he linked mine. Appreciate you, sir. You got me a lot of motherfucking views. As always, this is me and BGS's second time, you know, having a discussion between videos. But we'll definitely do this again, man. We're going to continue this discussion, not only on the natural selection discussion, but also, you know, black culture, man. Everybody know I'm SYSBM. I ain't trying to save shit. I ain't championing fuckery. I'm none of that shit. And that's, you know, me and BGS on the same page with that shit. He said, it's over. I tend to agree. It's over. So until next time, again, do not get used to these Mondays, but please, if nothing else, hit me with the thumbs up on this. Hit me with the thumbs up. I need the likes. We got 100 motherfuckers in here. You know what I'm saying? I need 100 likes on this video, and we're gonna continue this. I'll either be back Friday or Saturday is definite. I might do a video on Friday. So BGS, please leave something in the comment section. Let me know, like, if you want to continue. I mean, I definitely want to continue it, man. And let me know what works for you, brother. We're going to continue this discussion. And this was Marcus, keeping it 100. Out of here. Peace.